friends. Hey, it's Chris Kelly. End of the week. Time to take a peek at what's going on in the real estate world here in Portland Metro, that is. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive right into that. So I'm going to minimize me. Flip over here. There we go. So, really a lot of the same. And I don't say that, I shouldn't say that like it's a bad thing. There's actually been, a decent amount going on. I went to a function the other night and talked to a few agents that are having spectacular years. We're having a fantastic year. So marketplace is less. There's less going on, undeniably. I think I talked about that a bit last week. And that plays out in these weekly numbers and compare those to prior years. That's the whole point of me putting, 6 years worth of numbers here. So, we can look at what's going on. You can see that numerically there's less transactions going on than there was in this block of time. Not dramatically off of last year. We had a lot more listings this week last year, which is, I think that had to do with, some trending in the market rate-wise at that particular moment. But the sales and, the closed and sold rate is about the same. Pendings were up quite a bit from this time last year. So, that's that. There's fluctuation on a week-to-week basis. It's kind of like the median and average days on the market. You got to look at it over a trend line, not just a week at a time, which is why I do this every week. Same thing, median and say on average sales price. It just like I said, it's largely remained flat. I mean, it's up. It's up a little bit from 2 years ago, and up a very little bit from this time last year. But really, by and large, that's a fairly flat market trend over the last couple of years. It's definitely come up since 21 and prior, but hasn't moved a ton since 2022. Is it a problem? No. It's good information. I just met with some folks that are considering selling last night, and we talked about that. And, when looking at comps, I can go back a year or two and look at comp sales because the market pricing hasn't changed that much. So, what does that do for a seller? Sellers need to be mindful of the fact that if you're on the market and you're trying to sell and you're wrong on your price, you're going to stay wrong. The market's not going to catch you like it would in a heavily appreciating market. So it's really important to make those adjustments as a seller to get to the right place if you don't start at the right place. As a buyer, it's not licensed to, buy something, for 80 cents on the dollar. It's possible, but it's not very likely. Like I always say, if you look at homes on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being it's falling apart and falling down on itself, and 10 being it's perfect in every way, 8s through 10s continue to sell, and they sell at a rapid rate, and they always get the money, awful close to it, if not above. So, and that happens regardless of whether the market's flat or the market's going up. When the market's heavy appreciating, those types of properties sell for way over, and they get multiple offers. And it's just crazy. We had a crazy segment of the market between 2020 and 2022 where properties that had no business selling that way were selling that way. But what I'm saying is the 8s through 10s, they tend to perform very well no matter what. So be mindful of that as a buyer. If you're out looking at a property and you see something that really is excellent, and if you've been looking for any length of time, when it is and when it isn't, it's unlikely you're going to buy the 9 or a 10 for 80 cents on the dollar. It's just not going to happen. So, and again, that's part of our job and my job, particularly as a good real estate agent, to make sure that you're informed so that you can make the right decision about a property when on the buying side, and like I said, on the selling side, so you can make the right decisions about price and timing. We're getting that price adjusted until it sells is concerned. So that's really the takeaway from a flat market. I've got an article, or not an article rather, but a video I pulled off of YouTube. It's just a clip from I think it's Neil Cavuto on Fox, and he was interviewing Barbara Corcoran. It's a decent interview, and she talks a little bit about a lot of the things that frankly I talk about. So one of the things she said that caught my attention was, if interest rates went to 5, the market would go ballistic. I think that was the cover clip title. And she's right. But what's changing right now is, uncertainty remains in the markets, the financial markets, which spills over kind of into the real estate market. Really, what that uncertainty does is tend to keep pricing where it is. And by pricing, I mean long-term mortgage rates. So are they going to come down? I've said time and time again, yeah, they're going to. It's a matter of time, and that time frame could very well be longer. Hard to say. I mean, anybody that says, well, this is what's going to happen definitively, is not speaking from an informed place. There's just a lot of variables that have to do with that. On the flip side, I'm not going to come in and say, I don't know. But the truth of the matter is we don't know exactly what the trend line is going to be. It's likely that it's going to come down. I've read multiple articles this week. Some of them are saying, well, it's going to come down sooner. And most of them say it's going to come down later in the year, but it's going to come down then. And it's not going to come down nearly as much as we thought. So, all of that to say, people that are thinking about buying and selling real estate, making a move for whatever their reasons are, a lot of them, and she says this in the video, a lot of people are just getting on with their lives. They've become accustomed to the fact that money costs 6 or 6.5%, and they're getting on with their lives. The vast majority of people can do something and don't want to because interest rates are starting with a 6. Some people can't do anything. Most of the time, people are either they're stuck with a payment they don't want, or they're truly priced out of what they want in the way of a home, of a real estate purchase. Doesn't mean they can't do something. It just means that what they want to buy costs more than what they want to spend. I mean, that there's just too much disparity. That's the thing with interest rates. When they start with a 2 or a 3, your buying power goes up so fast. Even when the market goes nuts, there's a pretty decent window of time where you can still afford it from a payment standpoint. But ultimately, what happens is what we have now. Prices have gone way up because interest rates were way low. Interest rates went up. Demand has remained consistent enough that pricing didn't go down, nor is it likely to go down. That's the other realization that the marketplace eventually comes to is, I guess that crash isn't going to happen. And she kind of talks a little bit about that in this video too, which I thought was important and appropriate. And she cited the right reasons. So definitely worth checking out. Anyway, you know what? As always, the reason for this is to make sure that you are informed. Is somebody casually interested in what's going on in the real estate market? Certainly as somebody that's thinking about making a move, thinking about needing to sell something, thinking about needing to buy something. Be that here or anywhere. I am connected to the largest network of high-performing professionals in the country. So, if you know somebody moving from here to New York or wherever in the country, I'm absolutely a resource for that. Don't be afraid to reach out and let me know what's going on and how I might be able to help directly or indirectly. It's why I bring that example up. So, with that, I'm going to pivot to last call, at least on my weekly videos. Next Tuesday, it's on. We're doing the Pi Day. I think we've got like 175 or 180 people already committed. And between here and Tuesday, that number will balloon up to 200 and something. It always does. So we look forward to seeing everybody. It's really, really gratifying for me to be able to see everybody and give them a pie and give them a hug and a high five and just check in with people and see how their lives are going. So next Tuesday, 3 to 7, out in our new location. We didn't move offices, but we're having our event somewhere else because we've just simply outgrown this little space that is my office. So out in Damascus at 242nd and Highway 212 is Paradise Acres. We'd love to see you come out. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue. And they've got some really cool products there. So it's kind of a fun place to do a little shopping while you're there. But yeah, next Tuesday afternoon, we'd love to see you. And again, this is just it's just my way and my team's way of expressing gratitude and just being thankful we've had an opportunity, and we continue to have an opportunity to help and serve so many. That is so cool for us. I really love it, and we all do. So anyway, hope you can make it. And I think with that, I will say till the next time, sometime next week.